Before we start the video, I just want to let you guys know, this was all scripted before the 3D All-Stars came out. So if some of these opinions are outdated, we apologize about this. Now let's get into the main video. With the release of the 3D All-Stars just around the corner, we have some discussing to do. These are both exciting and concerning on Nintendo's end, as they are three of Mario's best 3D adventures, but there's some things that are holding them back. I'm Cristendo, and I'm joined with Fultrex, known for Roblox commentary videos, and we are going to be going over our thoughts on the 3D remasters. Before we start the video, I want to let you guys know this is a controversial video. If you don't agree with my opinions, that's completely fine. Let's try not to start any fights in the comments. I love Mario, it's basically my favorite gaming franchise of all time, and I'm excited for these. And also remember, these were released before the 3D All-Stars, the gameplay in the background is going to be my gameplay from it, but all has been said, let's get into our first point.
The price of the game isn't horrible, but it could be better. Just look at the Crash and Spyro trilogies. They had all three classic games, remastered, in full HD, widescreen, and for only $40. Compare that to All Stars. You get 3 great Mario games, but that's it. You don't get any of the bonuses or the polish. I think it would be fair to charge this for around $40 compared to the usual $60.
Honestly, I have some mixed feelings about this. If we look at the Crash and Spyro trilogies that are remastered, they are in HD, widescreen, and remade from the ground up at the price of $40. But what we get from this pack is 3 great 3D Mario games, slightly enhanced graphics and gameplay tweaks, but other than that, not much. And that's at a price of $60. Honestly, this price could have been $40 and it would have been perfectly fine. But they decided to go with what they usually do, make it $60. But like I said, I have mixed opinions about this, and I'll explain that. So I already went over pretty much why I disagree with this, because we look at the Spyro and Crash trilogies, we went over that already. But why I do agree with this is because the original games themselves aren't cheap. If we look at Mario Sunshine for an example, that's like $100 on Amazon or eBay. And then if you don't have the consoles, you can't play those games, so you had to buy more money. So this is a way for newer fans that want to play these older games to be able to play them. But if you do have the consoles, I understand where you're coming from, and I do agree. This is pretty stupid, but I do agree and disagree with this. This next one, I cannot defend Nintendo at all on it. It's a really stupid move on their end. So basically, if you didn't watch the Direct, this game is on a limited time sale. It's available until March 31st, and after that, you can't buy a physical or digital copy. I understand with physical copy that they wouldn't do that, but digital, that makes no sense unless Nintendo has something planned in the future for these games, which they might. That's the only scenario that I could think of. But other than that, there's no way that Nintendo can really back themselves up for this, and I think this is really stupid. They should have just done what they do with every other game and made it available forever pretty much. I mean, discontinue it eventually, but have it last forever. This does kind of remind me of the Disney Vault, if you guys know what that is, and that's not a good thing, especially for a gaming company as big as Nintendo.
This is my least favorite part. I think that especially not gonna say it, so you don't get demonetized for the future, but you know what, times, it's just harder for people to come by money. People are getting laid off of their jobs, and in general are struggling financially. So, I feel like this is just a slap in the face to those people. I also think this whole artificial scarcity tactic from Nintendo here is very anti-consumer. It reminds me of the Disney Vault, if you're familiar with what that is. Knowing Nintendo, I highly doubt DLC is coming. It seems like the only mainline games that they have released DLC for games like Smash and Mario Kart. They haven't done any yet for a full-on Mario game, so I doubt it happening. However, if it does, it'd obviously be Galaxy to us by far. That's the most requested game to the collection and biggest one that they missed out on. I could see them also adding Super Mario 64 DS to as a bonus or just things like that.
So as some of you know, I made a video about this already, but I will do a little overview of what I said. So basically, what I think would be DLC if Nintendo chooses to do it, not saying they will, but if they choose to, obviously Super Mario Galaxy 2 will be the main one, as it's the most requested, and they completely forgot about it, or at least that's what we think. If that isn't DLC, if they do DLC, then I think the next runner-up would have to be Super Mario 64 DS, at least just the levels. I don't think the characters would come, but they'll maybe import the levels as extra DLC for Super Mario 64, so that we have more things to do. But other than that, I don't think any other DLC is likely. Maybe Super Mario 3D Land, but I feel like that's more of a Super Mario 3D World DLC. These are definitely glorified ports. If you don't agree with that, then I guess you've never played any of these games before. But those of you that have, including myself, we know that these are glorified ports. It's pretty lazy. At least what they could have done is made 64 in 1080p and widescreen. That would have made things a lot better. But overall, it's kind of good for the nostalgia. But other than that, I don't see any reason why it would be considered good quality for an All-Star Pack. It kind of is a disgrace to the All-Star Pack. I mean, if we look at the original, all the 4 original games, 5 if Super Mario 3D World's in that collection, all those games are remade from the ground up with new graphics and new music. These are literally just ports. It's kind of sad. It's kind of hard for me to say this because I love Mario and all, but it's kind of lazy. It's really lazy, in fact.
They are definitely glorified ports. Like I said previously with the price point, it's basically just one ROM and 2 ISOs on a cartridge. I personally can't justify the price, as emulating them gets much better quality. However, I'm buying it due to the limited amount and the possibility of it being valuable, as well as me being a collector. But yeah, this collection is so lazy port-wise. They couldn't even bother to put Super Mario 64 in widescreen. Like, are you serious? It's inconsistent to seeing as how the other games are in widescreen. I just don't think this is worthy of the All-Stars name, as looking back on the original SNES All-Stars, they fully remade the games with better graphics, and had 4. Here, they have 3, and are just copy-pastes. The only benefit is the convenience of doing it on your Switch.
I would obviously have made these games from the ground up, completely restarted them, made them new, make them have a nostalgia feeling to them, but make them feel like new games at the same time. But if I had to work with what we were given, I would make it so that Super Mario 64 is in 1080p and widescreen, as it makes no sense that it's not. It should have been, as the other two were. It kind of makes sense because, I mean, 64 looks way different than the others, but it's kind of lazy on Nintendo's end that they didn't do this. And I would definitely add Super Mario Galaxy 2 to this, as that would definitely make this port worth the money. And then on top of that, I would make the GameCube controller work properly with Super Mario Sunshine. I don't understand why it doesn't work the same as it does on the GameCube, but from what I've heard, it doesn't work the same, and it's kind of stupid. It's kind of weird why it doesn't, but that's what I would change. And yeah.
For things I would change, I would do the work to make Super Mario 64 widescreen and to be able to upscale to 1080p, since I'm pretty sure it only scales up to 720p as is currently. I would also add Super Mario Galaxy 2 and Super Mario 64 DS, as I feel like these are both worthy inclusions that could justify the price more. Finally, I would remove the limited time limit, as it's just annoying and pointless, and is a very anti-consumer move. I feel like Nintendo is losing out on sales in the long run. 4 things I'd change. Obviously I, and everyone, would prefer a full remake, but I'm just working with what I've got here, leaving the game mostly as is.
So that's going to be it for this video today. I want to thank Fultrex so much for helping with this collab. This collab wouldn't have been possible without him. Go make sure you go subscribe to him. A link to his channel will be in the description, and it will be on a pinned comment in the comments. Let's try to get him to 500 subs, as he's doing a voice reveal then, and if we can get him to 500 subs by then, and we do another collab, we'll get to hear his real voice. Wonder what it sounds like. Let's get him to 500 subs. Thank you all for watching. Remember, if you have any opinions, leave them in the comments. Let's try not to start any fights, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.